everyone!
Hi.
Welcome back to the last episode of No Filter Friends, where we talk about marketing with no filter. For this episode, we're going to talk about community in the gaming sphere. So what we're going to talk about today is why communities are super important in video game marketing. And then we're going to talk about video games pre-COVID. And lastly, we're going to talk about how community makes or breaks the game. So game communities. What do you know about them? Good? Bad? Really bad? Yeah?
Is it a bit of both?
Alright.
Yeah.
Surprising.
Surprising.
Yeah, because there's a lot of bad rep when it comes to video game.
I think I hear more about the bad.
I mean, to be fair, we do hear more about... People tend to talk about the negatives more than positives. But, for example, Minecraft. People who play Minecraft, you probably think of them as, like, creative people with their block architectures. And people who play League of Legends to be passionate, to say the least, but passionate and loud. But these are just perceptions.
Yeah.
So, why are communities so important to video game marketing? In terms of marketing, it perfectly segments your audience and can be used as market research to get insight into your customers, aka people who have or are currently going through the customer journey of your brand. But a quote I like from an article I read from the Harvard Business Review is that brand communities is more than just a marketing strategy. It is a business strategy that strengthens communication between brand and customer, promoting more co-creation and innovation on the company side by fostering. But a quote I like from an article I read from Harvard Business Review is brand communities are more than just marketing strategies. It's also a business strategy as it promotes co-creation and innovation, which benefits the company. So, which also leads to the customer loyalty and leads to premium purchases of the games. So, questions. So, any thoughts on brands and their communities? Not just video games, but just like brand communities in general.
I have an example, it's embarrassing.
That's alright. Again, we can cut this out if you want.
No, it's fine, just, yeah. I'm in a Discord server for Dress to Impress. That's an example, isn't it?
Yeah, a little too good of an example. But
Oh, sorry.
no, that's good. That's perfect.
I'm only there for like game updates.
Yeah.
Stuff
There
like
you
that.
go. Stuff like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
you get game updates.
You're judging me so hard.
She's like,
I'm nearly 25 and I'm playing Dress to Impress, I'm sorry, okay.
I like Greta. I was literally playing it yesterday.
she literally played it in like one of our
Yeah.
like study sessions.
It's not
Study
that bad.
questions on air go. The gaming communities can be dated back since like ages, like millennia, centuries, because like in games of chess, in games of like board games, stuff like that. One good example is D&D. Have you heard of that?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, exactly. So the ones from
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Exactly. The stuff about demogorgons and
Demogorgons.
and like witches and mages and stuff like that. But that actually inspired a video game community-based video game called MUD, or Multi-User Dungeons, which was released in 1979, ages ago.
Very old.
Yeah, and back then the internet was not the best. And also the graphics of the game it's not a lot of pictures, not a lot of graphics, it's mostly text-based. But that is the earliest signs of a video game community. Looking at today, Dress to Impress Discord, a lot has evolved.
It has, yeah.
Obviously, a lot has evolved. And now we live in a time where people discuss stuff on Reddit, Discord, and about games they're passionate about. So, have you played any video games?
Roblox in general.
Yeah.
In general,
yeah. I played
Yeah.
Fortnite yesterday.
Oh, you did? Well, that's
I
great.
play a bit of Minecraft.
Minecraft as well, yeah.
Yeah. But not like, I just use it to build houses. I don't actually
play properly. I just build stuff.
So
Yeah.
you don't play in multiplayer or anything.
What's that mode where it's like peaceful?
Peaceful
Yeah.
mode. That's it. No mobs, no killings.
No.
But that's
no
great.
killings.
Exactly.
No zombies. Blow up my house.
Just me.
You
Myself.
myself. We're gonna talk about video games in our age now.
Okay.
Perfectly transitioning from your Minecraft experience. So we're gonna talk about the internet communities and influencers and the importance of those in showcasing fan creation and just building the community more. So there has been an influx in gaming since COVID-19. Have you guys realized that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massively.
Right?
Yeah.
I was one of those people. Like
too.
I was a casual gamer before COVID-19, but now after COVID, during COVID especially.
Yeah. Well, I feel like because people couldn't leave the
Go out
house.
and do anything.
Exactly.
So there was nothing else
It's the only way to
do.
connect.
Exactly the reason.
I also feel like Among Us was really big
Yes.
during that time
Yeah,
because
kinda,
everyone was
I
at
would play that
home,
somewhere, yeah.
so you could all go online together.
And you didn't necessarily need a PC for
yeah,
it.
you could just do it on like your laptop
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
Or your
whatever.
phone.
Even your phone, even though it's kind of shitty on your phone.
Yeah.
But,
But
you know,
Besides the
Nice.
point.
besides the point.
Yeah, but those are very good examples because those are
Yeah.
multiplayer games that you play in isolation,
Mm-hmm.
but with people.
Yeah.
So people tend to want that sort of connection in community. People crave that, and you can see that during COVID-19, where we crave some sort of connections through video games. Either they want connection or literally escapism.
Yeah.
I feel like. So yeah, in our time, video game brands communicate regularly with their fans. Don't you think?
Yeah.
So fans communicate with each other, and those fans also communicate with the creators, I guess, the
Yeah.
creators of the games. And for my example, because I'm kind of embarrassing, but I used to be a big player of Genshin Impact. So that's a community that I was in a lot. Doesn't have the best
Reputation.
reception, which I'm going to talk about later, but video games, they so these moderators, the game people, staff, they communicate with fans a lot, as I said, like through replies to community posts and whatnot. It was quite clear that they were also gamers themselves, or they
Okay.
played the games themselves, as they joked about things inside the game. So that sort of created a more friendly field in the some sort of like familiarity.
It's gonna be the black and white.
Wait, what was I about to say? It creates a familiarity between fans. Shut up. between fans, between fans and its creators. So it kind of creates an open conversation between them. Which increases brand trust and reliability. As they don't associate the brands as companies, more as, well, as I said, friends. So this sort of trust and wanting to build this community with the creators themselves is reflected with a lot of fans creating, well, fan art, right? Have you seen
Yeah.
that?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen them.
You would have the best reaction to that. What's going on?
Say what you gotta say first.
All right.
What have you seen?
A lot of weird stuff, to be honest.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Great. Oh, great. I know what you're thinking now,
Yeah.
and I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it as well.
Okay,
I
so
don't know what it is you're talking about.
it's
On the
just
safe side
literally
of
unaware.
Fanart.
Yeah.
Stay innocent.
Yeah, as you should be.
They're like sexual things.
Some of them.
Really?
Yeah. So fan art and other fan-generated content. We're gonna talk about that now. Encouraging fan art is earned media, as we know as marketing students, and how loyalty and advocacy will lead to awareness from other people outside the fandom. So that's great. It also strengthens bonds between the people and the brand. Again, I keep on repeating that, but it's a point that needs to be stressed. As advised by an article that I read, oh my god, so many articles, but a proper moderation of fan-created content is advised to avoid misalignment in messaging. That is a very nice way of saying it.
It is, yeah.
But would you like to contribute to this?
I don't know how I can say it, like, not nicely, but you know.
It's alright. No filter marketing.
True. I've seen a lot of, there specifically games like Valorant, characters like that are, I don't know, overly sexualized for some weird reason. I don't know why players feel the need to do with characters, but it's just very uncomfortable and I don't like seeing it.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I've actually seen is like when like a new game comes out and like I don't know what game it was, but like the female character wasn't as like sexual and like male fans of that game were mad about it, that like she wasn't showing that much skin, didn't have like a big, you know, arse and you know all that. So and they got really mad about that.
Why do they care
And they're
so
like,
much?
oh yeah, they're going woke. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Please remind me you told me about that because we're gonna touch upon that as well. So this is where it's gonna be a lot of conversation between us three and a lot of, not between us four. Sorry. Between us four. And we're gonna be raging about it a little bit. I have a prediction that it's gonna be a lot of sorry, if our professors might be watching.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sorry. Not all men.
Not you.
Not all men. Not all. Participation through contests, challenges, and fan features can foster a vibrant community. He added, the article I wrote, by the way, written by a man, but but he just said to remember to give credit where credit is due, which is the fans. The fans created this because they're so ambitious and passionate about the game, which is so cute, honestly, if you think about it. So fan creation showcases are very common, very, very common, especially in like where I like the video games that I like. I know that, so I like this game series called Shin Megami Tensei, which is an RPG. Oh my god, I'm just saying lingo that you probably won't understand. Their, what's it called? Their official account actually reposts fan art every day, or not every day, like every so often, and credits it. So a lot of like newer fan artists get recognition through that, which is so cute.
Yes.
And also another game that I like. I'm gonna talk about Genshin Impact again, but their company actually make a festival every year, like a live streamed festival where they show off fan art, fan animation, fan music about the games they make. So that sort of community is so vibrant, I feel like, and it just gives like this homey feeling of this community. So yeah, that's great. So this sort of fan created content and like, what's it called again? Earned media would often lead to like videos and like live streaming, like people like influencers, content creators who wants to talk more about their games, which leads me to influencers and influencer marketing and the recruitment of content creators to become endorsers for the game. So as influencers start off as fans of the game, they are seen to be more reliable and more approachable to other fans, and the only difference between them and other fans is that they have a following, right? So the importance of influencers and collaborating them and seeing them as thought leaders, I feel like that's very important. And for example, way back when I was a kid, probably primary school, do you guys remember PewDiePie?
Yes, yeah, of course, yeah. I grew up with him.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, so PewDiePie used to play Amnesia. And do you know Happy Wheels? Do you remember Happy Wheels?
Yes, I do. Remember
Yeah. So,
Happy Wheels.
yeah. So it's basically like an obstacle course game where you kind of have to survive through the obstacle course. So in that game, usually other players make the obstacle courses for other players to play. So it is.
Kind of how Roblox is, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Roblox is now.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's just like riding instead of like, so they ride like either some sort of like vehicle to get through the obstacle course.
Oh, wow.
So that's why it's called Happy Wheels.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's fun. And that actually is why a lot of people started playing Amnesia or Happy Wheels, because they knew PewDiePie played it and it looks so fun that you just kind of want to try it. I wanted to try Happy Wheels, but I was, 10? So I couldn't even operate a computer properly back then. So I couldn't even download it. So, a question to everyone. Do you remember any influencers that got you into a game or into like a brand in any way, shape, or form?
For me, but I feel like when it came to Fortnite, like Ninja was such a big person. Like I've never played Fortnite, but I feel like a lot of other people may have gone into it because of him.
Maybe, yeah. He was kind of seen as like the king of Fortnite, wasn't
Yeah.
he? I've never watched him personally.
No,
I don't
I
like him
haven't
as a person, but you know.
I know he was like a really big thing with Fortnite back in the day. Actually, even with like Among Us, I remember there was like a group of known YouTubers, like what's her name? Yeah, Valkyrie. What's that her name?
Pokemon.
Yeah, Corpse.
Where did he go?
I have no idea where
I
he
feel like
went.
he's just silent
I
now.
think ever since Among Us died down, he kind of
Left.
yeah.
I
But like
remember that though.
those group of people, like they always used to play during COVID, and like people would, you know.
That's fine.
Hey.
Yeah, so as you said, Among Us.
Yeah.
It literally made a boom of Among Us. I feel like it also it helped with the boom of Among Us.
Yeah.
A part of it, which leads to a point where it's most likely if you watch an influencer play the game, you'll probably want to purchase the game for one, and also purchase things inside the game,
Yeah, definitely.
right?
Yeah.
So like maybe Among Us skins or something, because Corpse Husband has like a skin or something. So yeah. Say what you want, but it makes good money for the video game company. You know what I mean? Which is why why video game companies take advantage of that and basically recruit up and coming content creators to like influencers for the game.
I've also noticed, I don't know if this is a thing on like a lot of games, but Fortnite, for example, creator codes. So you can get like, you know, a part of whatever you buy, the profit goes towards the creator.
Oh,
So
that's interesting.
yeah, I've done it before with like Vicstar from the Sidemen. Do you know him? He used to play Fortnite a lot. I used to watch him play Fortnite a few years ago, and I used his code quite a few times because I like him as a person as well.
Yeah,
and I watch him play.
that's
Do you know what I mean?
As we talked previously, community leads to a more open communication between brands and their customer base, which leads to a lot more feedback. So much more feedback. So, this is the reason why I'm talking about this again is because this feedback also is going to be re-implemented into the game most likely, or future games most likely. So a lot of games are actually, to some extent, made by the fans. Made for and made by fans to some extent. For example, Genshin Impact, one of them is. Like, literally a lot of the features that we suggested in surveys would be implemented into the game after a lot of consideration, obviously. But additional content after we finish a certain part of the game, it has been implemented because we were like, I'm so bored of the game, please put in more content.
I feel like
No, go on.
I feel like The Sims do that a lot as well. I know like a new Sims game hasn't come out in a while and it's, you know, yet to be released in the near future. But I see them do a lot of polls on Twitter, X, about what packs we want to see, like expansion packs, and I like that. You know, different designs of clothes. I don't know, just very consumer involved. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a really good positive example of it. But back to negatives, because I'm a Debbie Downer, is that way back when, this is gonna be a little off track, but it will piece back into this topic eventually, but way back when, did you know that video game marketing was not actually catered to men back then? No, so it was actually for the family.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
A lot of times it's for the family, but ever since there was like a decrease in sales in family consoles, they realized maybe we should make a console, literally a gaming console that is just specifically targeting. Well, the marketing is targeting men, and a lot of the games are targeted towards boys. So, for example, which leads me to the Game Boy.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Game Boy.
It's literally called the Game Boy.
I didn't even link the name to.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
so that is where it started,
Okay.
where video games tend to be more. Video game marketing tends to target men more often.
Yeah.
So this leads to a lot of video games being sort of catered to the male gaze.
Over-sexualize the women.
As you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what automatically comes to mind when we talk about this? Tomb Raider.
Oh.
Because the amount of men that play it just for her fucking character
Yeah.
is crazy.
It's the joggers, isn't it? So you can still feel the effect to current games, can't you? Yeah. Obviously, it has gotten a bit better.
The new COD is okay. I've noticed the women aren't as,
That also leads to the men being mad at the fact
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
she's
We're-
not.
completely.
We're gonna talk about another example of men being mad that women don't look pretty. But so
Pretty or sexual?
exactly,
there's a
sexy. But basically, this leads to characters being more to the female, to the male gaze, not female gaze.
Which
male
was female gaze.
Right. So a lot of characters, as in their design, as you talked about, but also their characterization.
Okay.
So and also their storyline and how they end up in the
Got
game.
them, yeah.
Exactly. So a lot of girls, a lot of like female leads tend to be like, oh, damsel in distress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
Save me.
exactly. So like in Legend of Zelda, you have to save the princess. So it's just like
So
what?
Mario Bros as well is the same thing.
Oh yeah, exactly. Both Nintendo games, just so you know.
Nintendo.
I don't want to be
Sued.
Never mind. I'm just gonna shut up. But so one of activists, like a feminist activist, has talked about this in the mid 2010s, but literally was completely shut down, like doxxed because of it for her opinion. Back in it's the mid 2010s back then.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's still a thing because we're gonna talk about Aloy. Aloy, if probably you guys might not heard of her.
No.
So she's actually a female protagonist in a PS5 game for a game called Horizon Zero Dawn. Like the franchise is called Horizon Zero Dawn, and a PS5 remake of it, not remake, a PS5 game version of it has been released. And you can see that her face, her design has changed a little bit to be more realistic to the game engine that is PS5, because PS5 has amazing graphics, right?
Yeah.
You can see every single pore. So she has peach fuzz. I know, and she has a more what's it called, athletic build, because she is a hunter.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Which leads me to the fact of some people in X being triggered about it.
They always use the term woke, and it's not something that.
It's real life. It's
Yeah.
not woke. It's
like if
real.
someone was a hunter,
Yeah. You're not
they're
gonna
not
be
gonna be slim.
big boobs, big
Like,
butt,
yeah,
slim
like
waist. It's not
slim
gonna be like that, is
waist.
it?
No, she has
Like you're gonna be
strong
more.
arms.
Yeah, exactly. Thick legs, you know.
exactly big. And
I thought they were all for like a realism, but
They're
apparently
clearly
not.
not.
If it's
Only
you
in
know,
men.
to serve their fantasies.
Original stuff.
but yeah, we're gonna shift into the topic of how community actions can affect brand image.
Okay.
So, we're gonna talk about Genshin Impact again. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
A lot of Genshin Impact references. I just really like Genshin Impact. So we're gonna talk about the mass reviewing of the game. So Genshin Impact is now a really old game. I think it is like 4 years old now, going on 4 maybe. But during its second anniversary, Genshin Impact wanted to give rewards to their fans, obviously, but their fans didn't like it because it wasn't enough. Ungrateful. Someone. But they started to review Genshin Impact, as well as other apps, like literally Google Classroom is one of them. So they started like mass review bombing other apps in the Play Store and the App Store, because they just weren't happy with the current state of the game, which created awful press for the game because of the community's actions. And you can kind of still see this sort of like negative stigma towards Genshin Impact because of that sort of action. They sort of ruined it. But it's not like just that action. Of course, there's a lot more things that the community has done. So we're also going to talk about the toxic community. Great. Okay. So as you can see, they're not inclusive. Yeah, again,
Not at all.
not really at least. And for women,
Diverse.
no. And for women gamers, we don't have the best sort of time playing in multiplayer games, do we?
Nope.
Valorant for Valorant matches,
I think Valorant's the worst that I've ever played.
Seriously.
Honestly, disgraceful.
Just like
I've got literally just because I'm a woman. Like, I have a story.
Go on.
It's not about me. It's about my roommate. He is male. He is also black. Okay. He put his PC in our living room a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, "Alright, we'll play some games together, take turns." He puts Valorant on. We can hear the voice chat. It's out loud. He hasn't got a headset on at this point. He gets into a game, and he says one word when he puts the headset on, and the comments from these other players, they're all male by the way, there were no females in this lobby that I could hear. The comments, the N-word was thrown out straight away. As soon as he said, hi, or like, should we do this, should we do that, the N-word.
Do they even know that he's like...
They think they can tell by his voice. That's what they're going off of. There's nothing like on his profile that suggests he's black. But they hear the voice and they call him the
Because I always
N-word.
see in like comments, like when you're playing, they always drop like racial slurs in there.
It's just purely from his voice and making monkey sounds down the mic, which I thought was really nasty. He is at the point where he can laugh at it now because he's got thick skin. He's a gamer. He's gamed for years, PC gamer. But it's not fucking nice, is it? People are horrible.
I would start crying.
Yeah, I would as well. When people have teased me because I'm a woman, I've also been like, I'm logging off. Bye.
So actually, one of the reasons why I stopped playing Valorant was because of those sort of people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people also have my same opinion. So a lot of people stop playing a game because the community is so freaking toxic. It literally stops people from trying more of the game, which is the adverse of what we've been talking about so far. So
I honestly feel like that happens in like, I know this is a video game related, but like, singers and like pop stars. I don't know if it's like when they have toxic fandoms that just are like so toxic online, you're like, I don't want to listen to that artist because your fans are so toxic.
Yeah, it's like that.
So it's the same.
I kind of felt like that with Taylor Swift for a long time.
Me too.
I was like, Swifties are like so, you just like
they're nasty.
They're like racist to so many people, and I'm like, I don't even want to like listen to the artist you guys like because I know it's not her, but it's like your fans. Reflect.
The fans become her brand, which is the same with gaming.
It's the same with
it
gaming.
puts you off.
Like it puts you off like that game or that artist because I'm like, I don't want to be a part of any of that.
No.
The same thing happens with like the K-pop industry.
Yeah.
There you go. It all ties back.
It all happens the same thing between fandoms. If they have an issue, they all just clash into each other.
Like, I always see so many people say, I don't want to listen to BTS because their fans are so toxic. So many people say that.
Yeah.
It's people say that fandom reflects their artist
Yeah.
or reflects their brand, I guess, from video
Or
games.
even people trying to talk about
No,
if even people are trying to like talk about BTS or say something wrong, they were like, oh, their fandom is gonna come at me for saying this.
Exactly, which I keep on saying as well, because like I don't want to get doxed by the Valorant fandom. I'm sorry. The game is great.
Do better, please.
Do better.
Dox me, it's okay.
So, as we talked about earlier, what were we talking about? We were talking about the problems in the gaming community and how toxic they may be and has become throughout the years. So, this is a really heavy question, but how can we combat it? It's a really heavy task for us as the people who are discriminated against, but if you think creatively, how can we combat this?
Make a girl on a new game.
Regularities.
God for women.
There we go.
Imagine
Game
Valorant
for
just for
girls.
women.
Ooh,
That sounds pretty fun.
I'll play that.
I love that too. Anyways, as you said.
Just like put like rules and regularities into place. You know, like ban the like racial slurs, like all of that really.
More actions should be taken by the video
Yeah.
games as well.
Make sure like if they do like put anything bad into the chat or say anything bad that they get banned.
Yeah.
I think that is a thing in
It
a
is
lot of
a
games
thing
already,
in a
isn't
lot of
it?
Yeah.
But it's not as much in voice chat.
Yeah.
And I think someone told me, I don't know if it is COD, but I think someone told me that COD is now starting to use AI in voice chat and picking up on particular words and banning people who use them. So that's a step in the right direction, but you know, we're not quite there yet. Don't know if we ever will be.
I hope. I hope and I pray and I hope to get back to Valorant.
Yeah.
Because it is a really good game. It's just a shame that the community is really trash. Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
So another one that I can think of is recruiting influencers, as we talked about earlier, that are of diverse backgrounds. That might help.
More women, basically.
More women.
Yeah.
More women in gaming. I feel like we should promote that more often.
Yeah.
Or people of
Colour.
people of color, people of disabilities. I feel like if people with disabilities have a voice, I feel like gaming, not like games in general, would implement more accessibility functions, which honestly it shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't have to speak up about this. They should just think about it on their own. But I feel like that may help the cause as well.
Definitely.
So one of the examples that I put in, or case studies, is Final Fantasy. They don't have a lot of representation in their game, and their women, the writing of their women, the story of their women is it gone downhill. Just so you know, this game is decades old,
Okay.
but it has gone worse and worse, and people have been seeing that, and people have been speaking out about it recently. So one way that the article that I read through basically suggested to fix it was basically put in more diversity and inclusion in their staff as well, so they can develop games in accordance to that sort
That
of.
makes sense, yeah.
So yeah, perfect. Great conversation, guys. Do you think we solved the video game crisis?
Yeah.
No.
But we've talked about it, and
we
we've
have.
talked about what we think
It's
would
nice to have a
work.
conversation with people who relate. You know, unfortunately experience
Yeah.
that.
Sadly.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. A little heavy at the end, but either way, I hope you guys enjoyed, and this is the end of No Filter Friends. Last episode, so we'll see you.
No.
We'll see you when we even want to revive this.
Yeah.
But yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.
Fostering a place where a group, a group. Oh my god!
It's okay.
I can't speak. English sucks. Okay.